Reviewing Spider-Man 2 as someone who's been playing video games for over 20 years, we're going to go through 5 different categories, rank them all 1 through 10, and come up with a final score. Before we get into this, a spoiler warning for certain character and plot points. Alright, beginning with characters. A wise man once pointed out that the overabundance of chefs within the kitchen can lead to the detriment of the pot. And Spider-Man 2 is a prime example. The premise is amazing, of course. What's better than one Spider-Man, 2 Spider-Men and a half? But when you divide one great character into 3, you end up with 3/3 of a great character. The story tries its best to give Peter and Miles their own complete stories, which results in both stories feeling rushed and underdeveloped. Peter's character arc in this game makes enormous jumps without taking the time to truly develop the character. Within a few missions, he goes from normal Spider-Man to a little grumpy to a completely crazed psychopath who tries to take out everyone, including Mary Jane. During this whole process, the characters around him only make passing mentions like, oh yeah, Pete hasn't really been himself lately. And that's pretty much the case with all of the characters. They're all just fine, bearable, and pretty undercooked. There's just too much going on, and for a game based around 2 Spider-Men, they only team up 3 times in the whole story, which were my 3 favorite missions. That being the intro with Sandman, the chasing Killer Croc mission, and the final mission with Venom. Why is the central focus of the game not the 2 Spider-Men working together? It seems like such a weird decision and a missed opportunity. Overall, we're giving characters a 5.5 out of 10. Alright, next we're doing story. The story of this game suffers from the same bloatedness of the characters. It's strange because it's like they're bloated and underdeveloped at the same time. Or they're underdeveloped because they're bloated, would be a better way to say it. Kraven is the main villain. He's hunting everyone in New York, good or bad. As a result, almost every previous villain is reintroduced, with Lee getting the most screen time. Hero-wise, there's already 2 Spider-Men, and Harry joins as a 3rd hero, and MJ, oh my god MJ, joins as the 4th. With the MJ mission in Spider-Man 1 being widely regarded as the worst mission of the game, they decide to quadruple down and give her like 4 main missions in this one. Why? There is not one person in the entire world that wants to go from playing as Spider-Man to MJ, even if she does share initials with the GOAT. There's so much time, more than the first 2 games combined, when you are not Spider-Man in this game. You play as MJ a lot. You're Haley painting graffiti, you're Peter working at the Bugle, you're Miles at a school festival. Again, why? I want to be Spider-Man. I don't want to be doing chemistry equations. Half the time you play as Miles, it's like electrical engineering simulator. The Arkham games, one of the best series of all time. You are so rarely not Batman. They understand the player does not want to be Alfred serving beef Wellington. They want to be Batman. So ultimately we'll give the story a 3 out of 10. Gameplay. The only reason I made it through this game was the gameplay. When you actually manage to play as Spider-Man, the gameplay is just as fun as the other 2. You get to fight as both Peter and Miles, who have 2 paths in their skill tree each, although their abilities are all roughly the same. A tunneling forward attack, a lifting attack, a forward punch, etc. There are a lot of different upgrades which I always enjoy, everything from your fighting abilities, suit traversal, and joint ability tree for Peter and Miles. When you're Spider-Man, this game is pretty good. So overall, we'll give gameplay an 8.8. I really don't have much to say about the world. I mean, it's New York. I've never been there, so I'm not too sure, but from what I imagine, probably a 3. No, that seems unfair. The world isn't really that impactful to the story of Spider-Man 2, so we'll just go with a 6. The miscellaneous piece that the Spider-Man games excel at are the cinematic set pieces. They do a great job of creating action-packed sequences that blend gameplay and movie-like displays. The key scenes that come to mind for this game are the opening with Sandman and the final battle with Peter and Miles against Venom. Going back to a previous point, I just wish there was more of it, especially with Peter and Miles working together. So the final score for this game is a 6.26. The score is pretty accurate to my experience. I came very close to dropping this game with the amount of tedious and boring tasks you have to do. The gameplay upgrades and cinematics can be in it, but overall I feel like this game is the weakest of the series. With the original Spider-Man dropping, I feel like it's only gotten worse sequentially from there with Miles Morales and 2. I do think Insomniac is a good studio. They can turn things around. They just kind of need to refocus what the game is really about. Another point I wanted to make is the boss battles in this game, where you have to fight each boss like 5 times. You fight both Kraven and Venom multiple times. Even within the same fight, when you defeat them, they play a cinematic and then the battle just resets. You beat them again, they play a cinematic, the battle just resets. and then you end up having to do that like 5 times for the same boss. I'm not really sure why that was, but it was another thing that kind of bothered me about this game. But overall, looking forward to 3, where there's going to be probably 3, well, I guess 2 Spider-Men, 1 Spider-Woman with Silk, Harry, and then probably 15 new villains. Now, all jokes aside, I do believe in Insomniac. Hopefully they cook with the Wolverine game, but that's about it for this one.